Hello and welcome to Subbies TV. I'm your host, Ninja. We've got a great show for you today. We're going to be talking, of course, about the Ross Cup with the rep side playing this weekend. And we'll get straight into the show. My panel, Slammin, you're back.
Ninja, good to be back again.
Nice pink shirt.
I know you're jealous of it.
A little bit. And we've got Richie Rich, you'll come back in.
Thanks, mate. How are you?
I'm good.
Good.
I'm great. And Buff. That's the nickname.
That's it. It's going to stick now.
Yep, Buff is,
Been
of
a
course,
20-year one.
You're the reps coach.
That's right.
You must be excited for this weekend.
Really looking forward to it. Yeah, it's a situation where you've only got a couple of games a year to make it right, and so one of those on Saturday, and yeah, can't wait
perfect.
for kickoff.
Now, just give us a little bit of background for you. You're linked with Blacktown.
Blacktown, yeah.
And you've played as well, obviously.
A couple of hundred games out there.
Just saying.
Yeah. And gave it up about 10 years ago because was tired of going to training, cold nights out that way, and just thought I'd go down and help out a bit with coaching, and caught the bug, and have been probably now to more training sessions as a coach than what I did since I retired.
It's easier standing on the sideline.
That's always the problem. That's always the problem.
Yeah, it doesn't hurt as much.
No, that's fantastic.
So, yeah.
Well, best of luck for the weekend, and we'll talk more about that later. But let's get straight into the weekly wrap with Emily Barker.
Thanks, Ninja. Welcome to the weekly wrap. And another great weekend of rugby was on display with plenty of upsets and runaway victories. Division 1 saw Mossman get their first loss of the season to a very good-looking St Pat's outfit, 33-18, and Beecroft took the win against Campbelltown, 32-28. Despite the loss, the Whales stay at the top with St Pat's, Beecroft and Balmain hot on their heels. Iggies are still chasing that elusive first win. Moving to Division 2, and Brothers once again dished out a huge win, carving up the Linfield Backs, running away 65-point winners, and Uni took the win against Oatley in a hard-fought game. With 2 games being drawn over the weekend, we see the middle of the table bunch up, while Brothers and Petersham still are flying high at the top. Checking out Division 3, and Hawkesbury Ag keep their great form going, getting a solid 17-point win at home against the winless Epping Rams. While in the upset of the week, Waverley got a convincing win, 30 points to 17 over Briars. Looking at the table, and the Waverley win puts them in contention, chasing that middle pack. Hawkesbury Ag, Blue Mountains, Hornsby and Hawkesbury Valley all sit comfortable in the top 4. In Division 5, the Clash of the Titans lived up to its name, with Redfield and the Irish playing out a hard-fought match. 2 late tries to the Irish saved the scoreline, but Redfield were too strong in the end, taking the game 36-26. Looking at the table, and good wins to Uni and Marylands keep them in the mix, while Convict's surprise win has kick-started their year. The first 4 are still comfortable at the top, the only change being the Irish dropping down to 3rd. Finally, in Division 6, Clovelly kept Chatswood at arm's length, getting a convincing 27-9 win at home. The loss is Chatswood's 2nd for the year, and in a huge weekend upset, Manly Sabres just scraped away with the win in a low-scoring affair against Sydney Grammar 7-5. Checking the table, and Clovelly moved to the top with Grammar and Chatswood not far behind even after weekend losses. Dundas Valley have themselves in a great position in 4th, and Manly's win helps them move up the table. Well, that's the wrap for this week. Back to you, Ninja. Have a fantastic show.
Thanks for that, Emily, and I will have a great show. That's very nice of her. Now, highlighted a lot of good games, but we'll just pick out a couple. I mean, Slammin, what's one of the games that stood out for you?
Mate, the Sabres Sydney Grammar upset, I would call it.
Absolutely.
Sydney Grammar have been going great guns, and they only went down by 2, but it must have been a cracking game.
Yeah, I wish we got some footage. I mean, 7-5 in an 80-minute game. That's defence must have been awesome by both sides.
It's nice to see. Bit of a change for us.
And Richie Rich, any stand out for you?
Well, I think those 2 draws in the Barraclough Cup,
Newport
and Forest, and that's always a big match between those 2. I think they play for a special cup for that. So 20-all draw there is big, and then St Ives Barker 17-all at Hassel Park.
Another local derby.
Another local derby, yeah. So
Barker's just not. They've come down from Div 1. They're just not clicking, or I mean, does anyone know what's happening with them? Because they can't seem to be getting the wins, so I'm not sure if they're
pacing themselves.
Possibly pacing themselves. But yeah, Buff, did you notice any that really stuck out for you?
Mate, got to go with the guys out at Brothers. They seem to be really warming up to the competition there. Linfield
Oh,
3
wow.
wins
Yeah.
from 4 before that and 75-10.
75-10.
Yeah, I did get an
10,
email
12
from
tries, I think it was. So, yeah,
the
boys are
captain
getting
of
to it.
Linfield. He did say that they had a lot of forwards in their back line because they must have had guys out, whether it's injury or away or whatever. And they had a lot of the second grade guys stepping up. And his words exactly, which all forwards probably love this, but he said that there was nothing worse than sticking his head into a ruck to come out and see that his back's just letting brothers through again. So that's frustrating for a forward, I imagine.
I wish I had that info prior to calling them in my dark horse for last week, that's for sure. 75-10.
Yeah, you're useless.
Yeah.
I at least got half a point. Oh, well, all right, guys, we'll take a look at the games of the week this week. Now, originally in Division 1, we're going to have Drummoyne Balmain. Now, this game everyone's been waiting to see. It's the local derby, and it's going to be a huge match, but that's been postponed.
Yeah, because of the rep match.
Yep.
So both teams have got a lot of rep players in. So they're going to postpone that.
But the other one you thought, and I agree with you, is Beecroft Knox.
Yeah, I think in the absence of that Drummoyne Balmain game, the match of the round should be Beecroft Knox. Beecroft at home, I think I'll go with them. That'll be
It's their
big
ladies'
game.
day as well.
big game.
Time to step up. I can't go past Beecroft. I don't see Knox knocking him off.
Yeah, Buff.
I'd say the boys from Beecroft, pretty quick around the field. So they'll continue on their way.
Will
It's an
Knox
important
show
match
us
for
all
Knox.
up?
Well, they have to win it, don't
It's
they?
happened before.
They're
Yeah.
going to start losing touch if they
Absolutely.
don't get
Yeah,
some
I think a lot's on the line for Knox, but they've been under the radar for a lot of teams. I don't think they've come up against all the big teams yet, so this is going to be one of the big tests for them.
Absolutely.
But yeah, no, I think Beecroft as well, to be honest, but who knows? Anything
We
could
could
happen.
all be wrong.
We could all be wrong. Div 2,
Never.
we've got Forest versus Uni. Thoughts?
Forest, look, having a draw last week in a local derby, I think they're going to try and step one up again, and really take it out on Uni.
Yeah.
And I don't usually tip Forest very often.
They're one of your favourite teams, are they?
Oh yeah, haven't had a lot of pleasant experiences playing out at that oval at Melwood.
There's some tough boys in the Forest.
Yeah, it is.
side.
That is tough, Millwood Oval, but I'm going to go for Uni there. They had a good win against Oatley. I think they'll continue on
Yeah.
there.
I think it's important, obviously important to get wins, but for these two teams sitting in third and fourth, you know, you can really set the pace for the
It's
rest
time
of
to
the
have a
year
go now, absolutely.
and put pressure on that other side to keep winning.
Yeah, well, I mean, brothers are well out there in the front, so you don't want to be losing touch.
They're ridiculous. 5 bonus point wins from 5 games. They are looking completely unbeatable. But you know, I do like the look of Petersham as well. But yeah, so we're also thinking. You're thinking Forest, Uni. What do you
Forest,
think?
I'd say Forest,
Forest.
at home.
Yeah.
Hard to
so.
beat.
And we've got in Div 3, we've got Hawkesbury Ag versus Hornsby. This is going to be a classic. Ag boys are at home. They got a good win last week. Surely, it was against Epping, but still a solid win.
I'm going to go Hornsby, mate.
Woohoo! Okay.
Just throwing it out there.
Okay, it's been caught.
At Richmond, I'll go for Hawkesbury Ag.
Yep.
Hornsby.
Hornsby as well.
Hornsby will knock
He's
them
the rep
off over
coach, what
there.
would he know?
Of course.
That's some inside
How do you
information.
know talent? How do you know talent? No, I think the Ag boys are going to keep their form's been very good this season, so I think they're going to keep going well, and they will probably win big. That's my call. They're going to win big.
Another mocker you've put out there.
I know, I always do this to teams. And Div 5, we've got Roseville and Canterbury. This is important for Canterbury. They must win pretty much because they're starting to go backwards down that table. So it's a big game, don't you think, Buff?
You've talked them up. They've got to win now.
Yep.
The money will go on Canterbury. There you go.
And they've got some big boys, so
Yeah,
I hope you
they'll
don't know where I live.
Yeah.
No, I mean, Richie Rich, you've gone
Look,
out and see some. Have you
No,
seen them play
I
yet?
look, I don't know much about either side. Just looking at the ladder, they both need to win, don't they?
Yeah.
Because you've got a very strong Maccabee, Redfield, Irish at and Harlequins, the top 4 there, and they're starting to break away. So they really, if Roseville win, they're still up there, and Canterbury, you'd have to say, are in strife.
I mean, it's still early days. We've got a lot of games left in the year.
Absolutely,
But
absolutely. But
Yeah, you
still,
lose
you're
touch very
getting
quickly, but-
you're getting some
Yeah.
dominant games. You know, look at Maccabee there, 5 from 5, broke Redfield's
yeah.
streak. They're a very strong club this year. They've got the Maccabea games on in July. They're obviously building up to
Training
that.
for that, yeah.
And so that's the flow on is they're very strong in the Jeffrey Cup.
Yeah. They're killing it this year. They're doing great. But you're right. I think at the end of the year, you don't want to be 4 games out of the finals and being a mathematical chance. There's nothing worse than sitting down and going, right, well, if we win these games with a bonus point and that person loses,
I'm on Roseville, mate. I'm going to go Roseville. I think they've had some pretty big games that they've been beaten up on the last couple of weeks, and I think they're going to step up this week and have a real crack.
No, I think that's a fair call. I'm back. I'm hoping Canterbury get in because I love seeing a tight table. But best of luck to both sides. Div 6, we've got Manly Sabres taking on Terry Hills. The Sabres got a great win last week, obviously a 7-5 win.
Yep, and then you got Terry Hills that put 47 points on Rockdale.
Yeah.
So I think it's going to be a cracking match. I'm going to go with Terry Hills.
Yep.
It's a topsy-turvy comp, this one.
It's hard to pick.
A huge win last week is no guarantee of anything the week after. So, yeah, I'll go Terry Hills.
I'll put my money on Terry Hills as well. Big win last week. Back up again.
Buggered a lot of you. I'm going Manly. So that's my say.
I just reckon Manly would have had a pretty big, hard game against Sydney Grammar last week, mate. I don't think they're going to be able to back it up.
Fair enough. Fair call. All right. We'll see just what happens, won't we? All right, guys. Well, we're going to take a quick break and then we'll be right back after this.
The Bunker Studios in the heart of Sydney's CBD is a unique production space that specialises in producing online video content. Your audiences are 5 times more engaged and they are 85% more likely to buy products and services when you have video on your site. So whether you need small video campaigns or want to produce a live event that can interact with all your database, contact the Bunker Studios or visit our website.
And welcome back to Subbies TV. Thank you for joining us. Now, this week on the panel, we're of course going to talk about the Subbies Rep side, which is playing this weekend. We've got the coach here with us, Buff. So, tell us a bit about the side. You're feeling good? You're feeling confident?
Very happy with the side. Got some guys with some really strong rugby backgrounds. One guy is on the bench, Seva from Drummoynes, played tests for Fiji against the All Blacks, so it doesn't come much better than that.
Pretty strong side.
3 other guys that we've got, Billy at hooker there, the 2 hookers, both reserve hooker as well, have got some fringe Super 15 type experience. 2 Australian Sevens, former Australian Sevens players, so I think it's a good, and probably, I'm not sure the exact number, but I dare say at least half the squad has some shoot shield experience and reasonable level.
That's pretty impressive. I mean, for Subbies Rugby to have that spread through all those divisions, there's a lot of strength in those players.
And I think that's what shines out of that in recent years, because I can't recall us, in terms of background in any case, the side perhaps being as strong as that in past years.
You would guess it hasn't been, no.
And just shows the level of interest that Subbies clubs are having and the attraction they have to these guys. That obviously all those guys are at their rear end of their career, let's say that, but still playing at a top level.
Yeah.
Except your number 14, who's been picked out of Colts, which I think is fantastic, and I think it's the first time it's ever happened. Richard Wolfe from Knox.
That's fantastic.
Starting 14, playing Colts for Knox, was in their premiership winning side last year. Started in the grand final. Still with them in Colts, been picked into the rep side.
That's a massive effort. That's
awesome.
a massive effort.
So he's got a great future ahead, obviously. Isn't that interesting that he's playing Subbies and he hasn't decided to go for a shoot shield? I think that's proving the strength of the Subbies competition as a whole. It's going up and people are recognising that Subbies Rugby is just as good as shoot.
Well, there still might be an opportunity for him to make an Australian Sevens side or something along those lines with his youth and his
he's under 21, obviously, so he's got.
That's brilliant. And we've won the competition against country the last 2 years.
Yeah, so that's for the Ross Cup. In fact, country have never won it. It's only a couple of years old. We've won it the last.
Pressure's on.
Yes.
Promoting that.
Yes.
We've the last 2 years
just
we've
given
held
us an
it.
incentive.
We just created it 2 years ago. Is that what you're telling?
That's it.
Yes. Buff has the dare I say the full support of the board.
Whilst we retain the cup.
Correct.
No, that's great. So I mean, it's going to be a hard-hitting match. Now, I went down to the rep trials, the last rep trial, and I mentioned on the show that we have some huge humans running around for us, but you think country are going to be coming with sizable giants as well?
The nature of this game is, and certainly was last year, that we've got some big humans and so have they. So
Yeah, fantastic.
Yeah,
And look,
the outcome is a really tough, hard game, and a lot of the guys, as I said, had some experience at, let's call it, higher levels of rugby in the past, but all comment on the toughness and the standard of that particular game last year.
Last year was a very physical game.
Oh, they always are, yeah. And country, have a much bigger rep program than we do. They've already played 2 or 3 games, so this is our first hit out. They're well into it. They played together. They have the country championships as their selection process. So, as you said, they're always huge. The country boys.
They're fit boys too.
They typically pick a fit side.
Yep.
Yeah.
Country. Always getting us with their fitness.
Aren't you from the country?
Yeah, well, Canberra.
One of our guys from last year, Mitch Hardy, moved to Nowra, and he trialled for the rep team, their rep team this year, and they didn't pick him. So,
but
and he made a try-saving tackle in the last minute of the game for us last year. So perhaps that's why they didn't pick him. I'm not sure.
Well,
so it shows you the standard of their team.
I mean, you were just talking about your bench, and you've got an ex-Fiji rep and everything. I mean, obviously the depth that you've got this year is incredible. Is there, without going into too much detail, do you think there's a particular, part of your game that's the real strength? Like, is it your backs, or do you think you've got a great line out or scrum, or what do you think might be the changing factor
give
in the
anything
game?
away
Without giving
beforehand.
Give all your tactics away now, Buff.
Look, no, I think
the show makes country. It's very.
It's the internet, mate. Anyone can track it down. I would say the experience of the key guys, so our 9, 10, 12...
Very diplomatic.
All very experienced players, and if you look at the last 20 minutes of last year's game, we were up by a try, and in the end we hung on through the experience of the guys talking and getting themselves through.
That's
so,
fantastic.
Yeah.
No, last year's game was a cracker, and that was a great day out, and I encourage everyone to get out to, it's at ANZ Stadium this year. And
so it's the curtain raiser to the Waratahs Brumbies, so it's a big night. If you can get out there, it obviously starts early, unfortunately. 5:15 is the kickoff for the rep game. We understand people have got club commitments, but if you are going out, get out there early.
We'll get tickets through Subbies as well, Tim?
Yeah, so thankfully, and thanks to the Waratahs, they have allowed us to take a cut of any sales for Subbies.
Fantastic.
People that want to buy, you must buy it through the Subbies website where the link is. 25% of all ticket sales through that link will go to Subbies Rugby. So
all you thousands of players get out there and buy some tickets to support Subbies.
Yep.
You watch some football and you support Subbies. Easy. Done. No, that's fantastic. Well, best of luck to the rep side for this weekend. I'm picking you guys. And, I hear you're still trialling the Water Boys, so I'll get out there.
Might get some footage on that.
Have a run. Stretch up. I'll be right. But no, best luck. And I think it's going to be a great game. And then you guys go to Queensland. For the 8th of June.
June long
weekend. And that's curtain
weekends.
raiser for British Lions and the Reds.
That's right. Yeah, big game.
Wow.
Big game. So hopefully no injuries and you can take a full strength side. Brilliant. Well, best luck.
And a win.
Of course, last week I was pitching out to people to get involved with the Subbies Aspirational side. So if you think you have what it takes to be in the Aspirational side, send through your bio. We want to pick. We want some background into your club and what positions you played. Now, these guys are guys that aren't quite as talented to be making the Subbies rep side, but they are big clubmen, really.
You're the captain?
Right. Thanks, Richie.
If you disagree on being selected in 6th grade and you think that the coaches aren't picking up on what you're putting out.
Yeah. No, we're looking for clubmen. I want to make a Subbies rep aspirational side. We can all do whatever. We'll go watch a game or something.
Enjoy a movie.
Yeah. All right, guys, we'll move straight on to enjoy a movie. Who are you? All right, we'll move straight on to the media madness. We've got some picks sent through this week. This is from the Mossman and Pats game on the weekend. So here's our first one. That's Mossman winger Sully breaking through the defence there. Pats were very good on the weekend. They were cutting down. And then moving on to the second pick. This is Spud. This is the ex-Iggy's boy that's come across from Mossman. He made a break about 20 metres out and then a try-saving tackle from the Pats winger.
How did the winger ever catch him?
Yeah.
I'm amazed.
Looking for support.
He has scored a couple of tries this year, and all of them have been from about 20 metres out, 30 metres out. He's got some pace for the big man, but it's good. Moving on to the next photo, we've got Clavelli's chicken spit roast type thing going on.
Is that Spud's lunch?
Spuds.
Could well be.
I think so.
That's morning tea by the looks. No, that's great. So they put on a great feed there. And then we've got the Hornsby Colts side, I believe, and they had to borrow the Blacktown jerseys. This is what I saw. This is the little...
Manager's in trouble. He forgot the jerseys.
Forgot the jerseys. I believe, Hornsby won, but I believe Blacktown's trying to claim the points.
A bit of confusion going on.
Nice. And he's a big man. Now, this big man's from St Ives, and he's just come back from injury. And the little caption was, "Big man keen for some scrummaging." And he looks like he could do some damage in the front row there.
Is that a calf stretch?
Maybe he's a lunge, solid lunge. So that's awesome. And then the last one here is, of course, the Balmain second, of course, like you know. Yeah. It's the second grade guy from Balmain who broke his hand, and he's just digging into some twisties. And that's a 5th grade 5'8" who looked after his beer all night. So good system at Balmain. Break a hand, get someone to hold your beer.
Has to be a back. Has to be a back.
Yeah, has to be a back.
Got to get involved.
So there's some great photos, guys, so thank you for sending those through, and we love receiving them. We'll move straight on to the boat race segment, and we love the boat race segment. Now, before we get into this, I did get approached by some people on the weekend that are saying that we are advertising binge drinking. Now, I want to put the disclaimer out. We are not saying go out and get tanked. Up to you what you do on your weekend, but the boat race in particular, I think, for me, is like a handshake. It's like a congratulations on the good day of rugby, and
it's one beer.
It's one beer.
One beer.
Have a light.
Just happens to be drunk quite quickly.
But I think the boat race is an old tradition, and that's all we're advertising with the boat race. So
drink responsibly.
Drink responsibly. We do
quickly,
encourage
but
that.
responsibly.
Yeah, but in this circumstance, really quickly. We want the fastest possible drinkers out there.
The quicker you drink, the more responsible you are.
Absolutely. And we've got this first video. It's from the Blue Mountains, and all the Blue Mountains boys are in onesies. Now, they only had 4 guys, so as you can see there, and we'll just show a little bit of it. But because they had 4 guys, they didn't actually qualify for the competition. But, some bit of speed amongst that sort of race there, but not 5 guys.
Disappointing they couldn't get the 5th person involved.
Well, they probably had guys around, but that's all right. But we want 5 guys in the race, guys. Guys. I keep saying guys. But anyway, 5 people in the race, and that's when you can qualify for the boat race competition. Now, here it is. Here's the one for this week. It's Sydney Irish. Sydney Irish versus Redfield. So here we go. We'll start it up there. And, they've been talked up as being...
Talked themselves up. Panda was...
Solid start. Spillage at the start, though. But
Panda promoted them as one of the best.
He did. But it's a little bit in slow motion for mine. And ripping through, they get to the 4th guy there. Pretty good camera angle. And bang. There's the last guy. So it's a great effort by the Sydney Irish guys, but they're not quick enough. They are not quick enough.
Probably their D side or something like that.
Everyone, D side, B side, everything else. But no, their time came in at 26.1. They got a 2-second penalty. 26.1, 2-second penalty. So we'll take a look at the table now. Hawkesbury, still at the top.
Red hot.
So that's the time to beat, 18.9 seconds. But, we're starting to fill that table. So send them through, and we'll see if anyone can knock them off. That's still a quick time. And that was with the 2-second penalty.
Yep, a responsible time.
A responsible
but a quick time. That's what we're looking for.
They all had water afterwards.
Responsible drinking boat race time. All had water, yeah. It was 1 beer followed by a water. And they were all light beers.
Exactly.
Perhaps.
Maybe. And they waited 3 hours before they left the building.
And they had food in between.
Exactly right.
No, I think we've said drink responsibly enough. Take it on your own to be sensible. Don't drive after drinking, all those things.
Or blame us.
Or blame Slammin. All right, guys, we'll move straight into the club announcements. I'll rip through these. So, Iggy's this weekend have their 1980s reunion. All players and coaches from the 80s are invited to go to Ryde Oval this weekend and watch the Iggy's home game. They'll be doing more reunions throughout the year because it's their 45th season. So, good effort. You're not going down, Tim?
No, I'll be with Buff with the rep team.
Of course. But
Otherwise, you would have brought your boots down, Tim.
have a run.
Never travel without them.
Moving to Epping, they have their Back to Epping Day this weekend, 18th of May, and they'll be doing a bus trip out to the Brumbies Tars game afterwards. And they're asking all supporters and players, past, present, and even future, are encouraged to attend that. So that's with Epping. Beecroft have their Ladies' Day against Knox. $20 gets you endless champagne, lunch, pamper pack, plus plenty more. This weekend we also have the Tars Brumbies game, as we mentioned earlier. You can get your tickets through the Subbies Rugby website. All tickets purchased will be through that special link will get you 25% rebate to Subbies Rugby. So purchase your tickets through that link and you will be supporting Subbies Rugby. That's great. I like that.
Yeah, we've got to thank them before, but thank the Waratahs for that.
So big thanks to the Tars for that. As I mentioned the last couple of weeks, the Sydney Irish are helping organise the Lions Tour Charity Cycle 2013. I'm not going to say the full title this week, but that is going to be for all the injured players. There's 2 organisations involved with that. So all money raised through that charity cycle goes to injured player funds. So that's well worth it. So jump on the heartsinunion.com.au, or you can make a donation via givenow.com.au/heartsinunion. And of course, Holdings Bits, every Friday it comes out and he covers the league, he jokes, yes, got it in there, videos, tweets, he covers everything. Holdings does a great job every Friday, so make sure you jump on the Subbies Rugby website and click on the Holdings Bit little segment. I'm getting through it, I'm ripping through. And sponsors, it's sponsors pitch time. We are still looking for sponsors for Subbies TV. If you think you can sponsor, contact us at info@subbiestv.com.au. We need money to keep this show going, so please guys, I encourage you to get in contact with us and help keep this show alive. So big thank you to everyone that's got behind us so far, all those clubs. But yeah, that's the club announcements.
Great, good work, man. That was quick.
That was quick, I was getting through it. Oh, I did forget something. Rugby stuff at subbiestv.com.au. If you have videos, pics, stories, whatever it might be, send them through to us. Boat races, responsible ones, send them through to us and we'll throw it on the show. Your pics and videos fill this show. It's what makes the content. So please send them through, guys. Shall we move on to the Dark Horse?
Let's.
The Excitement Plus Dark Horse this week is from Division 3. So we will be looking at Epping versus Waverley, St George versus Briars, Blue Mountains versus Blacktown, Hills versus Hawkesbury Valley, and the Uni Boys, which they hate me calling me that, but
Hawkesbury Ag
versus Hornsby. So who have you got, Slammin? Who are you picking?
I'm back in Epping. Epping have their big day. I think they're going to step up, get their win.
Yep. I'm going Epping as well. That's why I'm saying yep. I know
Find your own team.
I back the Rams. I like the Rams. Who you got, Timmy?
I'm going to go for Buff's old club, and that is going to be a huge win. For them to win at Blue Mountains be massive. They can do it.
Who are you?
They've got my backing. How could they lose?
Well, they've got mine as well. So look at the table there. It's the only game where there's a big difference between 2 sides in terms of number of wins. So
absolutely,
they had a big win up there last year, coincidentally on the day of the rep game.
There you go. That's an omen.
So there's an omen for you. And nearly knocked Hornsby off last week. Was at the game. So
fair call. Epping, Blacktown, Epping. There are dark horses for the week. Blacktown, all right, no, it's your choice. I just think that's going to be a huge win if they get up. The Mountain Boys, but best of luck. Best of luck, Blacktown.
You're arguing with the comp manager and the rep coach. That's what you're saying.
Yeah.
Pretty much. That's what he's doing.
He's wrong.
All right, guys, that's it for the show. That's it for the show this week. I want to thank Slammin, Richie Rich, and of course Buff.
Thanks,
and
mate.
Thanks, mate.
Best of luck to the rep side this weekend. Guys, please try and get out there and support them because it's our own boys. You know, we want to see them get up over country. So best of luck to everyone else who's playing this weekend. Until next week, enjoy your rugby.